Hey, hey, it's me. It's receding hairline, faux hawk, me. So how are you? I'm going bald. Oh yeah, that's why I shaved my head. I noticed I was starting to go bald, so I figured I'd just shave all my hair off. And now I'm growing it back. It's hard to decide what to do with your hair sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But at least I can put sunglasses on and be like, hey, you know, I am one of the Blues Brothers. You guys, I met Dan Aykroyd one time. I was working in a record store next to a very famous kind of punk rock club in Boston called The Rat, where my band played some of our first shows. And Dan Aykroyd came in the store with like three, maybe bodyguards. And this guy's like 7 feet tall, right? He's got like armed bodyguards with him, probably armed. And he's like 7 feet tall. He whips out like the gold Amex and gets like a stack of CDs like this friggin' big. And I didn't realize who it was at first, and I like read the name of the card as I was swiping it through. It says Dan Aykroyd. I'm like, or no, Aykroyd. I noticed the name Aykroyd. So I looked up. I'm like, oh wow, that's Dan Aykroyd, and he's with like three bodyguards, and they probably all got guns. And I was like, that's cool. And before I could say anything to him or ask for his autograph, maybe. Actually, I believe he did have to sign the slip of paper, so I did actually get his autograph, but I had to give it to the company. So I kind of would have asked him for one for myself if I had been quick enough, but I wasn't quick enough, and I was still like unsure slightly as to if that was him or not, because you don't expect really famous people like him to come into your store. So yeah, that was fun. And I can remember he bought a Van Morrison album, like a live Van Morrison album in particular. And I think I said something like, that's a good one. And he was like, yeah, he likes Van Morrison. So there you go, guys. Dan Aykroyd is a fan of Van Morrison. So you never know, like, who, if you're if you're ever think about famous people who they are a fan of, or who is a fan of them, or what other people are into about other people. It's always very interesting to kind of analyze that. You'd be surprised who is into what in terms of music and culture and art and this kind of thing. I am certain, for instance, that there are a great deal of musicians, some pretty famous ones out there, who are aware of my music and my band, because it's too often that I release something, whether it's online or on a CD or record or tape, even whatever. And then shortly afterwards, something like it comes along. It makes me think that either I'm really tuned into something that we're all a part of, or people are just copying my stuff and not telling anybody. I would like to think that it's the first one, but it's probably not, because you guys, the music business is just full of thieves, liars, cheats, people who will steal the fillings from your teeth if you give them an opportunity. Drug addicts, people who are just looking to like party and fill the void of uh, the spiritual void in their lives with something other than spirituality, like substance abuse, etc. Um, so when you look at your heroes in music, if you have any, if you're a musician or into music or whatever, don't assume that these people are awesome people. You should assume that maybe they've got something wrong with them at the very least. And music is a way for them to express that. Maybe they are affected by uh, the things happening in the world, and music is a way for them to communicate that, such as me. I consider myself to be a very kind of empathetic person, probably excessively so, and a pretty sensitive type of person, to the point where sometimes I'm not even like self-aware. I'm just reflecting, just a reflection of what's going on around. And so that can be difficult to process at times. So music has been my way of processing those types of things. Some people are just like that. But unfortunately, a lot of people in the music world are not like that. They're not even necessarily really musicians. Like, they don't understand it as a language or a means of communication or expression. They understand it as something they can market, sell, exploit, and make money from. And that's it. There's nothing other than that in it for them. And that's really sad. And it's also sad that people can't tell the difference a lot of the time between the real thing and the fake thing, the counterfeit product that they're buying, and don't necessarily really care what is the real deal. Um, I think it's important. I think it matters, and I think that, if you're in the music business just to like steal from people's culture and exploit it, well then, you know, it's it's not only illegal, but it's just immoral, you know. And I think that we need to really kind of more carefully examine that happening. Really, we need to kind of be more aware of copyrights and intellectual property and respecting and upholding people's individual rights when it comes to that kind of stuff, because it goes unnoticed and doesn't get the appreciation or financial reward deserved. And you know, the counterfeit ends up making all the money and getting the reward for somebody else's hard work. No, that's not right. That's not just. That's not fair. That's a problem. So yeah, I would advocate certainly for more support for creative individuals and those who are inclined towards creativity, not just those who are successfully able to exploit it. Because really anybody can exploit anything if they have the right situation to do so. It doesn't require much intelligence or anything to capitalize on something, to exploit it. It does, however, require a lot to come up with something original and creative. And I believe that, those people should be deserving of the right to exploit and capitalize on their original ideas. That might include one of you out there, many of you out there. I'm sure that it includes myself, and I'm sure that it doesn't include a lot of people who have indeed been successful at exploiting our collective work and ideas. So that's something I would like to see happen. I would like to see systems in place to ensure that happens. I think we're starting to see that now with technological processes that are occurring with automated monetization on YouTube and this kind of thing of original copywritten recordings. I would like to see more of that personally, because if you did the work, if you're the person who produced the goods, you should have the right to sell the work. Okay, that's it for me for right now. I think I'm gonna go get some more coffee and procrastinate doing stuff at my office here today. Got a bunch of these things to put in the machine here, and got some projects on them to work on, so I'm probably going to try to do that for a few hours, and hopefully we'll have something new for you guys sometime soon, whether it's a new video or something. Probably music. I think I feel some new music coming soon, eventually, and I'm going to do everything I can to make that happen. I think, because when I feel it, that's when it's definitely on its way. It's just a matter of working with those feelings, because ultimately that's what music is. It's a reflection of emotion, and you have to feel it for it to be good. Hey Jimmy, how are you? I was just about to sign off here. I was talking to myself for the last 15 minutes or so, but feel free to go back and check out what I was saying. I think you might find it interesting. Are you a sort of creative person? Are you interested in producing music or anything like that? Film, art, anything of that nature? Yeah, no. Well, if you are, maybe you could go back and take a listen to what I was talking about, because it certainly would apply to you. And I think there's some good ideas in there that maybe we could try to implement at some point. Okay, this is Michael Macintosh signing off. Gonna go get some coffee to start with, and get back to work. Talk to you guys later.